My name is Taliesin.
And I'm Evitel.
And welcome to a WoW podcast, obviously episode number...
23.
You knew it straight away.
I did. It's not like it's written in front of my eyes or anything, but we are back.
Wait, have we taken everyone's advice and actually just scripted the entire episode? Like, no improvisation, just laser-focused WoW news.
Exactly.
Hello, everyone. Welcome.
Hi.
Oh, it's nice to be here on time. Well, I mean, technically on time.
Well, you know what?
Technically, like a month late.
Yeah, it's fine. We got like ready super early. I was sitting here taking selfies while Tally was setting up. Everything was chill.
Oh,
and I
did
was
you
watching
tweet that
the clock.
selfie? Did you tweet it?
No, but I Instagrammed it, babe.
That's why I didn't see it.
Exactly. And the clock was ticking down. It was like 1 minute, 30 seconds, 10 seconds to go. And then like it hit 2 p.m. and Tally literally got out of his chair and started like fiddling with a plant. And then sat down and he was like, I'm ready now.
As long as it's within the 2 p.m. minute slot, we are on. But welcome back, everyone. It is
everybody.
so nice to be here. You may have noticed, if you are a constant watcher of our channel, that this podcast has not been on the air for like a month, right?
No, exactly. We have been busy. Stuff has been kicking off. We've had, we can make as many excuses as we want, but we've had videos, we've had loads of other stuff to catch up on. And so as a result, the podcast kind of fell by the wayside. But much to our joy and elation, we are here today again.
And you do look joyous as well.
Thank
you
you.
do. And
Thank
my
you.
goodness, the great thing is, I mean, obviously we're not going to do that thing where, let's not do a catch-up episode, okay? Let's not do like things that have happened in the
Previously
last
on.
month. But, we will be talking about stuff that is going on right now. This is a up-to-the-minute podcast. So, we're going to be talking today the upcoming event tonight, testing of the
Of
opening
something.
quests
Of
of
something.
the War Within. Exactly. And, there's obviously some big spoilers involved there. This got announced last night. We've got a new cinematic that kind of got, we saw a little bit of as an advert for that event featuring Khadgar and Xalatath in Dalaran. Looks like it's going to kind of kick off those events. We've got a teaser for, I don't know, what would you describe it as?
Well, I'm hesitant to put a label on it yet because some people are definitely calling it something.
So I'm just going to go ahead and say a new type of animation that we weren't expecting in the World of
Absolutely.
Warcraft animated universe, right? So we'll be discussing all of that. And of course, pre-patch as well, and just kind of catching up on that. But before we do anything, let me thank Rico for our first
Super
chats. That's what it's called on YouTube. Super chat of the episode.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Rico.
We have a tradition of coming to all of our super chats and asking questions on them at the end. So if you have any burning questions or things you'd like to say, whack it in a super chat and we will come to it. Useless advice to those of you listening on all your favorite streaming podcast platforms later on, of course. That's just for the people watching the show live.
Exactly. So any questions, any burning thoughts, anything you really want to tell us, drop a super chat and we'll do a mini Q&A at the end.
But there is something I have to talk about before any of that, Evitel, and that is, it's not on the show notes, which you very dutifully wrote up before this
Studiously, I like that word.
Yeah,
I think you made
it's
that
a
one
word
up,
that
but
I've
I like
invented.
it.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not on the show notes, which is the first show notes we've ever had. So
Yes.
if you think that this show is structured very, very well today, if you come out of the episode thinking that was so smooth, that was like an Agatha Christie novel. It was so beautifully put together and structured with a big twist at the end.
that you never saw coming.
Welcome back, Degran. Thank the show notes, frankly. But I'm going to go off the show notes like instantly right at the very beginning here.
Go off, Tally.
There is how like the World Soul Saga is kind of breaking new ground for WoW, but also I feel like the idea of it is that they're going to kind of tie up long-running storylines.
Yes, I think that's the idea across all three, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I feel like we have to do that now with regards to this podcast because many people will remember that we had a little bet going before this podcast disappeared into the ether for a month, which, by the way, I know we were only away for a month, but I feel like we should do a Shadowlands to Dragonflight style time skip. Can we say it was 3 years?
Yes.
Oh, it felt like it. Yeah, so we were away for 3 years, and before we disappeared, many of you remember that we had a little bet going, and that bet going was as to whether I, Taliesin of Taliesin and Evitel, famous, world famous, I would say, YouTube duo,
very modest.
would I complete my Dragonflight meta achievement across the Isles? Would I do it? And I seem to remember betting myself that I would.
Yeah.
You know, for the sake of sportsmanship, you bet me that I wouldn't.
Exactly.
And I can't remember what the forfeit or prize was. I seem to recall that it was that the winner would decide what the other would dress up as.
Wow, I have no memory of this, Tally.
Yeah,
it's been so long. It's been
luckily-
3 years. How could I possibly remember?
Luckily, the Wayback Machine does exist, and I checked it earlier. And yeah, in fact, on our last podcast, that is exactly what happened. So now it just remains to be seen: did I complete that meta achievement or not?
Right.
Who has got the forfeit to come? Those that follow us on our Twitch stream will know, of course. But I
did it.
I
You
did.
did it.
I completed it. I got my meta achievement. It was actually,
you
do
did.
you know what? It wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. I thought I had huge gaps in my meta achievement kind of calendar to fill in. But I did it. I did it before the pre-patch dropped, which was the designated time frame. And I finished it, my pre-patch, by my meta by doing the blue dragonflight quest line. I saved that till the end.
You did. What did you think of those quests? I watched you play a little bit of them because I didn't want you to miss anything. And I just had to jump in every
Were you
now
just
and
going
then.
to run up the stairs and be like, yo, Tally, talk to that guy, talk to that guy?
No, exactly. I was just on like my Twitch alt account just being like, Tally, read the letter he gave you.
Wait, the Twitch alt account is literally Evitel though, isn't
just
it?
Evitel.
That's how
It's
you know
not
I'm going
a
to
secret alt account.
Okay,
It's not like your secret like alt accounts that
What,
are
the
like,
ones that I write on Twitter
Yes.
and go, Taliesin is right. You should lay off him.
yeah.
You should get off his case. He's amazing. He
him
saved my mum.
Right, but yeah, so you enjoyed those quests, didn't you?
I did. I thought they were absolutely splendid. What an
They were
incredible way to finish the meta achievement, and you know, say goodbye to the expansion, because I had no desire to do any of like the kind of season 4 stuff after that. I got my portals in Mythic Plus. I didn't get a 3K rating, so I couldn't be bothered. But once I got the portals, the 2.5K rating, I was done with that, and I just didn't want to do any more Dragonflight stuff. And that was such a beautiful way to finish it off. And I did it, you know, the week before pre-patch came out, and it was lush.
Yeah.
What a great storyline.
It's so brilliant. I'm so glad you finally did it, and I'm amazed that you hadn't done it before.
Yeah, like I just genuinely, and you know, when it ever comes to analyzing Dragonflight as a story experience, you know, it's such an important part of the story experience, because
absolutely.
I know you've got like the whole A plot with a Ridicron and stuff like that, but really the plot of Dragonflight is the story of the Dragonflights
Coming together.
Yeah, and I think the Black Dragonflight gets some great stuff in 10.1, and I think that the Blue Dragonflight obviously get that. The Bronze Dragonflight get a whole patch themselves as well, which is really good with the Dawn of the Aspects and Dawn of the Infinites and what have you. I think the only Dragonflight that gets completely left out is the Red Dragonflight, although they get the story in the Waking Shores at the beginning. But I mean, generally, I thought it was all really, really good. Anyway, that's enough talking about Dragonflight. No more of that, 'cause it's all about the war within. I guess the only question is, what is the forfeit? What are you going to be dressing up as?
It's not my decision, is it?
No, exactly. Now, just to be very clear for those watching this show being recorded live right now, Evitel is not in her costume. This is
No.
not it. We did not reveal this beforehand. So
No,
I
although
didn't
this
go,
is-
just anyone from Little House on the Prairie.
Excuse me. I
Just
bought this.
Heath Ledger's Joker dressed as the nurse.
Excuse me. I bought this at a very extremely cool shop in Copenhagen.
Yeah, you did actually. Yeah.
It's actually
Well, I was
like
trying to buy a
super
waffle
cool
vest.
little- yeah.
I couldn't find one that looked good on me,
literally,
surprisingly.
like a fishnet top that you're gonna buy, essentially, with a little collar on it to make it like slightly passable. Yeah. So no, this is maybe it is a bit nursey, maybe, but I thought it was cute. A little Danish, a little token of our visit to Denmark.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. People are saying our volume is a little bit low. But I guess it is. I'm seeing now. So we'll just try and talk a bit louder. Sorry,
Okay.
but I don't want to change the volume in the middle of the broadcast.
No, let's not. We'll just crank up our own voices,
yeah,
shall we?
exactly. But thanks for letting us know. Cheers. Maybe I'll very gradually do it. Yeah, I think you make a great Heath Ledger villain. But that's not what you're going to dress as. No.
No, what's it going to be, Tally?
It's going to be. I've thought very hard about this. And you know what? This wouldn't have been my first choice, but you know, if this decision had been made when I actually completed the meta, it would be a different decision.
Ooh,
but I feel like that you can't. It's got to be Zalatath. Right?
it has to be.
Yeah, how could it
Really
possibly
has
be
to be.
anything else?
I am so excited to dress up as Zalatath. I am.
Now you know.
No. I must. This is really the worst punishment that you could inflict on me. This is. It's. You know what? I am really gonna suffer.
I know. Like all of these punishments are like, oh, what? You're gonna make me dress up as this really sexy like character that I really like. Oh, and then we might bone. This is the worst day ever.
Hold on. That's
sorry.
not
No.
what
Well, I mean, I'm just. I don't want to presume, but
There are way too many moving.
Christmas
bits
is
and
coming.
pieces.
I've got a birthday coming up.
I'm telling you, I've already got 2 balls on my shoulders. There isn't room for any more.
Because that is where they usually end up, right? But
Exactly.
yeah,
just
okay.
one on each shoulder.
So it's going to be Zalatath. Now, are we going to set a time frame for? Are we going to set an episode where this has to happen? Right?
Oh wow. Well, here's the question: is it going to happen on the podcast, or is it going to happen?
Yeah, of course, it's
somewhere
got to
else?
happen on the podcast. 'Cause,
Okay.
No, the podcast has its own universe, its own like in-universe narrative.
It does, it
Okay,
does. You're right.
and that's what's going to happen.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
Well, so next week's episode is going to be special. We'll talk about that a little bit later.
Yes. So it's definitely not going to be next week. I'm going to need a little bit of time to prep. I'll be honest with you. Like,
Well, to be honest, it's been obvious that I was going to complete the meta for quite a while now.
I know, but this will be coming. Okay, I'll schedule this in. I'll make some plans.
Okay.
I have had a not unserious offer from like a professional cosplayer to let me try hers on.
No way,
I don't know
seriously?
if that's actually going to happen because I would never dare touch someone else's work and like
But the offer is there.
Well,
Oh, we might get jizz on it though. So.
oh my God,
What?
Tally.
Because when I see it, I'll get so excited when I just see it in its
there's
box.
literally going to be there's going to be a plexiglass
Oh
wall
my God!
between us.
Good, nice one. Yeah, easy.
So that's it. It's done. Zalatath is going to happen. I'm super excited. It might not be like a full body super detail, but I'll definitely do the makeup, the hair, the shoulders, and like kind of upper body. 'Cause I don't wear anything on the bottom.
There's
anyway.
nothing on the bottom. Yeah,
Nothing on the
exactly.
bottom.
You're not allowed in this office if you're wearing anything. On the bottom.
Exactly,
Neither
no
of us are.
Kamui cosplay. I've seen. No, it was Satiela, I think, who mentioned it. But yeah, I've seen Kamui cosplays Zalatath, which is unbelievable. It is absolutely top tier. I was literally on the floor when I saw her cosplay.
Well,
and that
I
is
can't wait.
Yeah, you will also be on the floor. I can't wait.
Yeah, it's going to be fantastic. Well, roll on that then. I mean, let's try and get it done ASAP. Obviously,
Yes.
not next episode. It can't be obviously.
Not next episode, but we'll see. Very in the near future.
You don't forget the face tattoos.
Oh, they're essential. That's when makeup includes the face tattoo.
Yeah, exactly. Cool.
I cannot wait.
Yeah, it's gonna be fantastic. Well, there we go, and that was our little my deviation off of the show
Nice
notes,
detour.
right? So we've done our welcome back.
Lovely.
Yeah, exactly. So before we get on to like the many cinematic things that have been dropping in the last couple of days, I mean, in the last week. We've had the 2.5D animation cinematic. That's Blizzard's words. That's what they call them. Not my words, and I cannot stress that enough. Not my words. They call them the 2.5D cinematics. So we've had that. We were expecting maybe another one tomorrow, but yesterday, sorry. But instead, what we got was like a kind of a teaser, sort of
Animated.
an in-game cinematic, a pre-rendered cinematic, one of the big ones, one of the good ones, and we'll look at that as well. And of course, this new type of cinematic as well, animation, which we will be talking about. But I feel like it's probably best to talk about the pre-patch very quickly first,
Yeah, let's do
and
that.
just kind of go over our reactions to that, because we haven't talked about it since we've been away, obviously, for 3 years. So, and I've been playing quite a lot of it. Now, I was quite on this show. I've been quite down on the pre-patch in beta, I thought it was a bit rubbish and a bit uninspired and just a very weird format with the timings and things like that. And I'm happy to say that I was proved completely right when it released and everyone hated it.
Okay, but we have been away for 3 years, but we were actually literally away when the pre-patch kicked off, and we were in Denmark, where I got this shirt. Thank you. It is very nice. Thank you. So we missed the initial 2 days, 2 to 3 days, really 2 days of the pre-patch, and by the time we came back, very happy to report that some of the issues that people encountered, which Tally kind of predicted, and which were compounded by other issues, were mostly fixed, to be honest.
Yeah, and you know what? One thing that is really great at the moment, which I think you've seen in other aspects of the game, and you have done since Dragonflight, but it really seems to have kicked off a lot recently, is this idea that... oh, wait, is Evie's mic playing up? Sorry, can we have confirmation on that? Or is Tragedy Tales just being... okay. Maybe it was... Evie's mic has gone robot. Oh, lots of people are saying it now. Okay, just can you...
mic is not well.
Can you just say something, Evie?
Hello, testing. Is my mic scratchy? I'm going to keep on talking, just so Tally will give it a little listen. Quiet, glitched, unplugged. Very strange. Quiet and scratchy.
Oh, that's no good.
What happened there? Try plugging and unplugging. Plugging and unplugging, seeing if anything happens, and updates that. It's good that you can hear me, but let's...
Oh yeah, horrible.
Oh no! Oh dear. Okay, let's see what we can do. Is this a recent? Am I coming through Tally's mic?
Yeah, keep talking.
Okay, I'm gonna keep talking. Is this a recent change? Maybe. I'm gonna. Pre-patch, actually super, I've really enjoyed the bits that I have played. They are in the same room. We are indeed in the same room. It fixed. Ooh, fixed. It's fixed. Tally, it's been fixed apparently.
Okay.
Wow, okay.
Oh, sweet.
Nice.
Okay, are we working now?
Yeah, are we working better? Hey, oh, incredible.
I just had to turn the amplifier off and on again.
Oh, nice. Well done. Sometimes
That's all I
that's
have to
all
do.
it takes, Tally.
Yeah,
You just press the button.
We'll find out
Off
that
and
I'm
on?
not working now, though. But that's brilliant. Okay,
thank you. Appreciate you guys.
There's a little edit for me in this
Fine.
before I put this on people's preferred streaming platforms. Isn't
Appreciate your patience on that
Oh.
little detour. So,
I don't know what happened there. I
No.
just had to turn the amplifier off and on again.
you know what I did? I turned Discord
Yeah,
on.
it was you.
I opened Discord, and I wonder if Discord...
That's exactly what it was.
Exactly
Yeah,
what it
'cause Discord
was.
tried to take your mic.
Yeah, it clearly did.
Yeah.
It clearly did.
Okay.
Sorry, that was definitely me. That was definitely me. And said I'm just going to have to look at it on my phone and make sure I'm not missing anything essential.
Yeah, because we're getting the Discord's up the wazoo at the moment, trying to organize stuff, and I know exactly what Discord you're looking out for as well.
Yes, we are. Ooh, we will cover that in a minute.
Blizz did sort out the pre-patch issues, and kind of basically just gave everyone what they wanted, and it's been quite fun now. It's always on. You know, it rotates every hour. You get like a little chest every time you do one on a new character for the week, and you know you get a little daily quest for each one as well. Fantastic, yeah.
And it is funny. You say they literally gave us what we wanted. It was kind of incredible watching this happen from afar in Denmark, looking at the reactions, being like, "Oh no!" And then Blizz very quickly, to be fair, being like, "Listen, we hear you. Sucks. Let's try and fix this." And by the time we got back and started doing it, like I really enjoyed it. I leveled up from 60 to 70. My mage. In about, very, very quickly, in less than an hour, I think. Once I got the hang of the event, started zooming around, started doing it again. Once I realized that I didn't have to wait for the next one to pop, I could just keep doing the same one over and over again.
Yeah.
And then doing the dailies, picking that up, getting my gear on, like my catch-up gear, which felt really good. You know what? I really enjoyed it. And then once I got in the swing of it, I could start to actually appreciate the little events that were popping. Like, I know no one's actually doing any of the side quests for the Khadgar one, for example, but I like that they're there. Like everyone's just hitting stitches over and over again and ignoring.
Stitches comes up, you're like, I might stop killing these boars for a minute.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
It's Stitches time.
Exactly. Well, I might stop doing something that requires any thought and just keyboard
do some
mash.
rotation stuff.
And that's
I'm all
fine,
for that. It's
actually.
like, I'm all about the big single dudes that everyone just hits for a little bit and then flies off. And if one of those pops, I don't need to be farming no boar liver. I don't need to be farming no kind of troll things, right? That's all I need to do. I just need to kill Stitches, kill Khadgar. Khadgar's a bit annoying.
Yeah, Khadgar's a little bit annoying.
But most of them are pretty
Stitches
good.
and Khadgar, really.
Yeah, pretty much. I leveled a new mage from 11, because that's when you were allowed to go and start doing the pre-patch events. From 11 to 70 in like literally about 6 hours, I reckon.
Nice.
Only marginally slower than using a boost.
I know, right?
You think about, you buy a boost, it's got a process. It's got to you've got to log off and come back on again a little bit later.
You wait for it to happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And you might as well just level it. Might as well just do it. So I got a new mage ready to go for the War Within. Well, I got 3 mages ready to go now. But I think she's gonna be my main one because I managed to snag the name Penny. On a low pop server. And here's the brilliant thing, right? Because usually I'd make sure that all the characters are on the same server, which is why someone gifted me the name of our son, but I couldn't get the name of our daughter. But with the new warband thing, it just doesn't matter, because no matter what server they're on, they're going to sit around the same warband campfire as all your other characters on that screen. You can click on them without changing servers on the character select screen. You can just go in. They can join the guild on our other server as well. They share the warband. Nice. There's functionally, basically, in important ways, no difference between what server people are on anymore. So I say, go to those low population servers, take those names, get Dan, get Tim, well, you can't get Penny, I've taken it. But, get on there and get those good names, because they're all up for grabs, because it doesn't matter what server you're on anymore. Well, I mean, obviously, you can't join in Argent Dawn RP events on this character, but you can still join the same guild. You can still be around the campfire. You still have the same bank. It's really good. But yeah, obviously, if you want role play, that's gonna be a problem.
Yeah. So yeah, I've really enjoyed the pre-patch.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, with the changes that they implemented kind of instantaneously. Great.
Well, like with the title screen as well, because there was much debate when the title screen was changed from its kind of like glowing embery center bit, and everyone was like, that's kind of bad. I think that'll probably change throughout the course of the expansion. And then lo and behold, on the beta, it did change. And they put the concept art of the Isle or Dornagal through the bit in the middle, and they made the middle larger, and you got a portal effect around it, and there's animated fire. And people were like, yeah, you see, we were all right. They were planning on opening it up and having different scenes in there.
Yeah, but I have to say, sorry, quick side note, like all of the Irish people in our guild are like, I know. There's a place called Donegal.
There's literally a place in Ireland called Donegal.
It's called Donegal.
What are they even thinking? It's so dumb.
Well,
not just Irish
Donegal.
People, like British people, we're all like, why have you called? It's like calling it Manchester. Like,
I can't wait to go farm in Manchester.
Well, everyone else, all the other WoW creators are there right now in FeatureCon.
Yeah, exactly.
But we're here doing this. So, I hope they're all having a great time. Oh, they're probably at the pub right now.
Yes.
Talking about mythic raiding, and we'd be sitting quietly in the corner like, what are they talking about? Or they'd be talking Final Fantasy 14 spoilers, and we'd be like,
no, PreachCon was always a blast. I just had the misfortune of like always being pregnant. Every time we'd go, everyone would be like, all right, we're doing shots. And I'm like, I'm sitting down. You guys do that, So I feel like I missed out on like some of the camaraderie because of that. But
yeah.
Hope everyone there is having a good time right now.
Fair, honestly. Well, yay PreachCon and yay this podcast, right?
Yeah, hooray.
But there was all that thing of did they change it? Was it always planned to be changed, or was it a reaction to feedback? And I mean, the fact that it's found its way, that new title screen, onto the game now in the last week of pre-patch, as opposed to launch. The opening of the game, which would be the obvious place to put it,
makes
me think that it was actually a reaction to feedback.
Maybe.
Like if they just held off, if they held their cool and held off putting it in the live game, the new title screen, until the launch of the game on the 22nd, I'd have been like, yeah, clearly it was intended all along.
Yeah.
But now, clearly it was a reaction to feedback, which is good, right?
Yeah.
That's a good thing. They put out an opening screen. The world went, nah. And they went, we hear you, fam. We'll change it. So apologies for all the artists working for Blizzard that had to sort that and make it happen just because people were complaining about it. Sorry for my part in complaining about it.
You did complain.
But it... I just said I didn't love it, right? And people at Blizzard, the Tally doesn't love it alarm went off in Blizzard. People were like, Tally didn't love this. It's like, really? Did he get his money this week? And they're like, we got to sort it. We got to solve it. So there we go.
The envelope was not thick enough.
It's like, I didn't even open it. I was like, nah, you're going to need more than that. I'm right. What can I slag off? Bring me the title screen. So yeah, but another example of things changing very quickly, and we're seeing that on the beta a lot as well. Maybe not so much with class tuning and hero talents, but in sort of aspects of the game. Yeah, sorry, paladins.
Oh dear.
But yeah, I much prefer it. And now the door is open, literally, obviously, but the door is open to changing it throughout the expansion.
I think it'll do that. Like Dornagal. In this, a little glimpse of Ireland for now. Maybe for the next patch, another look. Maybe it'll rotate sooner than that. Maybe it'll be pushed at a different time.
Or maybe there'll be a new one.
Yeah.
Like when the game launches. And then, update it with new patches and stuff like that. I feel like that would be fun. Why not? Do something a bit different. Brilliant. Yeah. Okay, the time has come, Evie. Let's talk cinematics.
Yes.
So we were able to bring out our first cinematic analysis video of the expansion, I guess, when the 2.5D cinematic, the Queen Ansarek and Xalatath one came out last week. Now, we're not going to dwell on this one because it's not the important one this week. There's so many other things to talk about, but I feel like the world hasn't heard your opinion on it, Evie. So can you just give us a quick rundown of your thoughts on that one?
Yeah.
Threads of Destiny.
Threads of Destiny. So I actually watched that one. It went live while Tally was on stream, and I was with the kids downstairs, and we were all playing, and I was like, Mummy's just gonna look at something, but I'm still playing with you actively, right? And so I just had it on, and I watched it without any sound, and I was like, okay, interesting. Very, all right.
I came downstairs, I was putting the kids to bed, and I was like, did you watch the new cinematic? And you're like, yeah. I was like, did you like it? And you're like, no, it was fine. I was like, oh no, Evie didn't like cinematic. And I realized she just watched it without sound. She came out like an hour later, like, I watched it with sound now. I have new opinions.
It'll make sense now. I know. I'm sorry. This is just
watch it with sound. It's like, what? Next time you make me watch Bridgerton, I'm gonna watch it without. That might actually make me like it more. But next time you like, when you're like, oh, you gotta listen to this song I love, I'll be like, sure, but I'm listening to it without sound, giving my opinion that way.
It's all right. Yeah. And so I enjoyed it. So here's the thing. For some background, and I was just rewatching some of these before the podcast, just because I like to. I think the Warbringers and Harbingers are some of my favorite ones. The ones that came out, the 2.5D animatics that came out for Legion and BFA are like superb, namely Ashara, Daughter of the Sea. The Khadgar one from Legion I love just because it has really hot Khadgar in it. And the thing that I really love about those, and this is a extremely tiny personal preference, is their art style, which is really kind of dynamic. It's unique. It's quite sketchy, right? It's quite like fluid. You see these kind of lines, and it's almost like a little bit impressionistic at times. So my initial reaction to this one, when with Xalatath and Ansarek, was I was like, oh, it's so polished. Like the art style is super polished, and it still has a little bit of that, little something going for it, but it is like really polished. And my initial reaction to that is like, oh, it's too polished. That is the tiniest nitpick that you could ever make, because otherwise it is super cool. I really I love the visuals of Zalatath, obviously, and Ansarek, and yeah, seeing this little story play out, seeing the parallels, like, right, I keep thinking of the Ashara one, right? You know, the offering, an old god basically offers you some power and you become really hot.
You grow a nose in Ansarek's case. It's like I get
you
one
drink the
arm,
blood?
you get a nose.
You drink the blood and you become a kind of scarier, hotter version of yourself.
Yeah.
And your entire, you know, all.
Well,
of your
you've got a
people,
nose. When did you drink the blood?
Yeah. But yeah, of course, the parallels there are like apparent. You know, Ansarek, you know, takes the power in order for her people to thrive. You know, in a way, she kind of sacrifices them, right? Because they become something else completely, much like Ashara and like her people. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. The images of Zalatath, obviously, like iconic, you know, crawling out of the portal, the hole with the big spooky eyes.
She was so scary. Like proper Ringu stuff, just like.
Yeah, exactly. And with her like big, you know, like what was that memeable girl with like the really big eyeballs?
Oh, like overattached girlfriend?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She big overattached girlfriend vibes. My overattached girlfriend.
Not possible. Oxymoron cannot be too overly attached.
I really enjoyed it. One of my favorite bits is when Ansarek is like, her name is Zalatath, and the background music then is that like
that was electric.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow, that like throbbing spookiness, and I was like, that's good. That really does it for me. So it definitely yeah, it like kind of scratched the itch for me, and now I want to be itchy again, and I want more.
Oh, you want more scratching?
I want more scratching.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want more. So yeah, that was my reaction to it.
Yeah, I thought it was fantastic. I really, really enjoyed it. We've talked about it loads on stream, even since the video analysis of it, and I'm now definitely erring on the side that, and I know this is a hot topic for debate, which police haven't clarified, and I wonder if they ever will, but. You know, whether the scene at the beginning where the big scary kind of faceless one is there, whether that is set during the time of the Black Empire. So did they reject the old gods then? And he's talking about, you know, the actual battle for Azeroth, as in the Titans versus the old gods, or was that in BFA during 8.3 essentially, and the Visions of Nyarlathotep.
Division.
Yeah, what's your view on that?
I don't really know. In my opinion, it doesn't really change the.
No, I actually don't think it's important in the grand scheme of things.
I haven't really
doesn't change
thought
what the cinematic's telling you, really.
Yeah,
it's just more kind of a nerdy.
No, that's fair.
Thing, really.
Yeah, because of that, I haven't really delved into which I think it is.
Well, I'm very much on the side now, and I was initially, but I'm very much on the side now that it was actually the Black Empire, which would make it like hundreds of thousands of years ago, and would make Ansarek and her mum and, you know, other kind of people there hundreds of thousands of years old. And there's loads of kind of things you can say about that. It's like, you know, in WoW lore, the Nerubians didn't exist at that point because they hadn't split off from the Alkir yet. And it's like, well, yeah, but in WoW lore, the Centaurs didn't exist and couldn't have happened and couldn't have been in the Dragon Isles, right? But WoW lore suddenly decided that they could. And it's like, yeah, the Nerubians you've heard of might have not existed, but we hadn't heard of these ones before, and they did. So like, it's just the easiest thing to possibly kind of like change. And I you know, with the flashbacks and stuff, and it just feels like a lot longer ago than BFA, basically. So 100,000 years is a long time. But I just think it's cooler. I just think it's cooler that it happened during the Black Empire, and that the final stand of the Black Empire happened in Nyalotha. I just think that's really, really cool. And I remember in the deep dive for War Within at BlizzCon last time, when they were talking about the Nerubians, the slide described them as ancient survivors of the Black Empire, which kind of makes me think it was then. That kind of like seals it for me. How can Xal'atath look like that if it was ancient times? So here's the thing, right? Whether it happened in ancient times or not, that opening scene, the flashbacks that you get in Sepia later on, where Xal'atath is being worshipped by the Nerubians and things like that, those are definitely set during the Black Empire. Like, whether they're from her dreams or not, or their actual shots of the Black Empire, like they're definitely set during the Black Empire, those ones. So,
I think it's just a storytelling device, right? Like you need to see who Xal'atath is. We don't know really what she looked like with her other bodies or anything. And of course these are all, we're getting Nephris's kind of, she's like, who are you talking to? She's like, oh, ghosts, right? This is a kind of her memory, but also in her head, right? There's the kind of the freaky thing where the flame stops, time stops before this starts kicking off.
I would describe it as dramaturgy, that thing of like, they don't want to show us what she looked like yet, so they show us what we recognize as, right? So
she's a symbol, right?
I also really like the idea that maybe she did look like that during the Black Empire, because we know that she's in an actual elf's body now, but the elf didn't look like that when we killed her. She had blonde hair for a start. So I really like the idea that when Xal'atath inhabits a mortal form, which we know she's done before, that she twists it to look like that, because that's how she likes to look. Like either she just feels baller and like a lady boss when she looks like that, or she knows it works on us, right? She knows that's a really good way of manipulating people into doing what she wants and stuff when she looks like a hot, elf or what have you. And I really love that idea. I love that idea that once she inhabits a body, she kind of makes it look like she wants it to look like. I think that's kind of cool. And I also love the idea, and this is the last I'll mention about this, but something that kind of we've talked about and that I really like, this idea of how bad Nerubian society actually got. Because if you play through the beta and if you play through the questing there, it doesn't seem like it's on its last legs or like it's suffering, and no one's really kind of, everyone loves the queen, the ex-queen. No one's got a bad word to say about her.
No, they love and respect her, right?
Exactly. So I also love the idea that, this supposed hardship that we're seeing the Nerubians under is actually kind of all in Ansarek's head. Because she's the narrator of the story, right? So I love the idea that, it's actually very over-exaggerated in her head. And she sees the city as being on its knees and stuff, but no one else really did. And that's one of the reasons her mum was so chill about it. She's like,
it'll get better.
Right? That's not bad, honestly.
We're not in our like super hot forms yet. We'll get there.
Totally. And I just thought that was an interesting concept, which I really like the idea of as well. But that was last week.
It was.
This is this week. Here we go. Bum, ba, da, bum. So there was a cinematic that came out. Here we go. Yeah, lovely. This cinematic is a in-game cutscene, a pre-rendered in-game cutscene. So there's a number of different types of cinematic. You've got your I would say starting from the top and working your way down. You've got the mega super high-res cinematics, which are like the old soldier ones. They're the ones that are used for like actual cinematic trailers for expansions, and you get them in like little sizzle reels leading up to the expansion as well, which we've had for the War Within. Yeah, exactly. And then after that, I guess maybe on the same level but like very different styles, you've got the 2.5D cinematics, and those tend to come out in the lead up to an expansion, but they usually find their way in game as well once you get to a certain point in questing or what have you, and you get the pre-rendered in-game cutscenes. Now, we know that these do use models from the game, but they're like, massively rezzed up, and, you can do anything with them because they're like animated outside of the game. And but there's usually recognizable locations and things in them, and that's the ones where we started doing our cinematic analysis, and they do really interesting things with these cinematics. I think the Blizzard team over the years they've gotten used to having to fit so much into such a short space of time that they've got so good at like packing them with references and things, and you get more out of them the more you know about WoW. It's kind of like the Marvel Cinematic Universe in that respect. And that's what this is. And then you've got the in-game cutscenes, which are like real-time cutscenes. They use your character models, and so your character can appear in them. And they are kind of like, they happen in the game engine in real time. So they'll reflect what time of day it is, where you are.
Yep.
Like sometimes you get other players running through them and stuff like that.
Love that.
Yeah, and those have been kicking off in recent years. Those are fantastic.
Yeah.
So this is one of the pre-rendered ones, and it's in the middle of the action of the event that we'll be testing tonight. The event tests at, I think it's going to be 9:30 UK time, right? So 4:30 Eastern time.
1:30 to 3:30 California time.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we're allowed to stream it. I'll have to double check that. But if we are, I think we are. I will be streaming that because I have to test that before we do
So that is the event that is going to be happening on the beta. So so they've opened it. We haven't had a look at this at all yet. And very interestingly, they've decided to open it up for testing.
Because they said they wouldn't.
Yeah, because they said they wouldn't. But clearly there's a reason. They want us to have a look. So it'll be open for testing for 2 hours today.
Yeah.
And that's it. So,
I'm looking forward to it. So obviously there are spoilers, which we're not going to mention, and we'd like you not to mention them in the chat for the sake of this podcast. We've discussed the spoilers before. But so this cinematic happens in the action of the of whatever the event is in Dalaran. And there's a point where Khadgar comes running into the tower where the Council of Six usually hang out, and it's bright outside for a start, so it's daytime outside. Okay. So clearly this is either a flashback or a scenario. We now know it's a scenario because that's what is happening in Dalaran when we do it. So it can be any time of day, and he comes in and he confronts Xal'atath, and Xal'atath has got the Dark Heart.
Yes,
kind of floating a bit weirdly above her head, actually, and it's kind of sucking off all of the arcane power from Dalaran, which it's stuffed with, right? And it's sucking it right on into her head.
It is
kind of like the way the Dark Heart is kind of floating her head there, and it's all sucking down.
And so, for those of you who don't remember
her head,
stop it. Those of you who don't remember how the Dark Heart works, it sucks off power. It just sucks up power and then turns it into shadow, right? It turns it into shadow.
Oh, well, we don't know that, actually. We don't really know much about the Dark Heart at all. We know that she sucked off Galakron's essence into it, and we know that she's now sucking off all of the Dalaran like arcane energy. Now, the essence that she sucked off of Galakron, that would be presumably decay or death energy, and this would be order or arcane, right? So they are different cosmological forces, which raises the possibility that she's going around trying to collect different cosmological forces to make the Dark Heart one glorious whole. Like a kind of a Captain Planet, right?
Sorry.
So she needs to suck off enough cosmic sources to create the glorious whole, and create her like evil Captain Planet, basically. I feel like that's what we're leading to, right?
A glorious
or an infinity gauntlet, right?
Well, I didn't want to say it, but
but that's okay. That's a good setup. I like that. I think it's really good. And this scene's great. So people are asking where we got the scene. It's not even on WoW's YouTube channel. It hasn't been on the PTR, although I'm guessing it might play as part of the event tonight. But this was literally just on their Twitch. Twitter. And I think it's on Facebook as well. On Twitter, sorry. Yeah, this literally they just posted it on their Twitter, just like the teaser for the next thing as well. And it's intense. Yeah, it's great, and it's a proper pre-rendered World of Warcraft in-game cutscene. What I would call a Terran Gregory special.
Ooh.
There it is.
Right.
And it's rocking. It's rolling.
Are we gonna take a look at it, or?
Yeah, well, I'm not gonna play it.
Because, no. But if you haven't seen it, don't want to see it, look away.
Okay. Well, I mean, I guess fine. I guess we can play it. I just want to check that the volume is okay.
Of course.
I'll turn it down so it doesn't blast anyone.
There we go.
Here we go.
We meet at last.
Zalatath, I presume.
This city.
I presume. I love that.
He goes all Dr. Livingstone on her, and it's like...
That's so his vibe. That's so Khadgar. Like he's faced with, you know, an evil force. He is seeing for the first time.
What, have you not seen Zalatath before? I'm guessing. Yeah,
he says,
I guess so.
we meet finally. He's hasn't actually met her before.
Zalatath, stop sucking off Dalaran's energy.
I presume. Adorable. So purely Khadgar.
Yeah, exactly. And then he's all like, well, I've got to stop this sucking off right now. Like, Dalaran's like, I consent. Zalatath's like, I consent. Khadgar comes on in like, isn't there someone you forgot to ask? So also, we don't know if this cinematic...
That's my magic tower.
Yeah, we don't know if this cinematic plays at like the end of the event currently. By the time many of you listen to this, we'll already know, right? But we don't know if this plays at the end of the event or if this kicks off the event, right? But I guess we'll see. So let's play this again.
This city is home to such power. All squandered by the Kirin Tor. I'll put it to much better use.
And it's like, yo, why does Zalatath want the arcane energy? And I think we've kind of talked about that already, trying to, you know, like, it feels like she's trying to tick off different cosmological forces in the Dark Heart. And
I like this idea.
Yeah, I like it too. Thank you. I'm quite proud of it. And but it's also worth mentioning that a name that's cropping up a lot in WoW discussion at the moment is that of Dimensius the All-Consuming,
right,
or All-Devouring, because he is the guy that destroyed the Ethereals planet, or took over the Ethereals planet, and turned them into Ethereals by blasting them with arcane energy, even though he is a Void Lord. Because what he did was he came along and he opened portals to the Twisting Nether and the Void. Right. And those portals blasted Koresh, the Ethereal's home planet, Locust Walker's home planet. And so, you know, they spent all of their time defending themselves against the void blasts that were coming their way from those portals. And it was actually the arcane energy that wiped them off the face of the planet and destroyed their corporal beings, and stuff like that. So it wouldn't be the first time that a very powerful void being had utilized the power of arcane. Just to, you know,
gotcha.
It just felt like important to bring that up. Sorry.
Like hell you will.
All right, Grandpa. All right, Granddad.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Okay.
I was sorely disappointed by this blasphemy. I thought, you know, if ever there was a like heck you will guy, it was Khadgar. I thought, but no.
You will. Yeah, that's this is the meme that's just like, okay, let's get you to bed, Granddad.
I love the idea of Zalatath being like, oh my gosh, I was trying to engage you in a reasoned debate, and you just come along with that. Oh, so much for the tolerant Kirin Tor. My goodness, oh my god. Well, I never. Here I am, trying to have a proper debate with you about sucking off Dalaran's like arcane energy, and you come in here with this language, this aggression. How are we supposed to talk like this? How are we supposed to sort this out in a civilized way? Well, I'm absolutely gonna suck off all the energy now. So you think I'm hell anyway? I might as well be.
Yeah, I love him. He's so funny. Khadgar is so funny. I appreciate though that his jawline tends to change a little bit over time. It's gone for the slightly. Maybe he's just getting older. Yeah, maybe he's growing out.
Isn't it? Yeah.
But yeah, that line made me laugh. Khadgar just cracks me up. I feel like this is all very in character.
But there has been consternation as well, though, because of the idea of like, is it out of universe? Does it spoil your immersion to have someone mention, you know, hell? In World of Warcraft.
Surely, hell is the word hell is used in WoW, isn't it? Not as a concept.
Hellfire, Hellfire Peninsula. Yeah. And also, famously, I think, now correct me if I'm wrong, chat, and I know you will, but didn't Uther tell Arthas to go to hell in Warcraft 3.
Really?
So I mean, that makes it canon. That makes it more than acceptable, right? Yeah, exactly. But I'm on Xalatath's side. Massive overreaction from Khadgar. Really ruined the debate by getting aggressive, made it personal. Really. And I cannot condone his debate style. Sorry. I think Xalatath wins this.
Granddad's getting out of control.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of getting out of control.
Sorry. And this is really cool because he does a big old blast, the like of which we have seen before.
We have. Where have we seen this before,
We saw it in the Khadgar Harbinger.
You said it correctly. I'm so proud of you.
I didn't know until you said. I said the word. I kind of put a little question mark on the end of it just in case you were going to correct me. And I got validation. Can't guarantee that I'll get it right next time I try and say it, but I did this time and that makes me feel excellent. Thank you. So this big blast. Now, I don't know if anyone's seen the latest weekly reset, but in the weekly reset, I predict that the next 2.5D cinematic will actually be in the opening quests.
Oh, okay.
Which it might still be, in fairness, but I would have expected it to kind of appear where this one does, really. So it's looking bleak for my prediction. But I did also predict that it would reference the Khadgar Harbinger's 2.5D cinematic in very specific ways. This is not the way I was expecting, but it does in fact reference it. So I count that as a win. I count that as Taliesin was right. I count that as me basically being able to lord it over all other creators and say I was right about something, right? Ding, 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 ding. Taliesin was right. Yeah.
Before. But yeah, so this blast actually appears, in the Khadgar Harbinger when he's facing off against a big old dreadlord.
Yeah, the dreadlord who has been disguising itself as Medivh and is revealed at the end to have been disguising himself as Medivh. And then Khadgar's all like, "Get out of here, dreadlord!" Choo, blast him out the window. It's really cool. Really cool. So it's really cool to see a representation of that. And I mean, what is Azure Ray? No, not Azure Ray. Comet Azure is the Elden Ring spell that this is very similar.
I was going to ask what spell that is.
Dude, that Comet Azure, I might be getting the name wrong, but you all know what I mean. Comet Azure got me through my entire first playthrough of that game when I was all like, Ashes, what's this? I can summon a ghost to help me and it's like a ninja. Yes. What's this? I can just do a big spell that's a huge blasty thing that kills pretty much everything straight away. Yes. So, I got my big boink build sorted later on, but yeah, Comet Azure got me all the way through that first playthrough and I really appreciate it. I'll always love you, Comet Azure. You are, I am yours, you are mine. So really good to see that as well. And, I know the damage Comet Azure can do, right? So... Look, he's giving it everything. Look, sweat, the literal sweat on his brow. Yep. I mean, that's an age spot, but he's also got sweat on his brow. He's giving it some. This is. And surely Xalatath is done now. Now, Khadgar is on his knees next in the cinematic because he is an arcane mage, which means he gets one big damage window and then he goes zoom. So he's done. But it should be enough, right? It should be enough.
Clearly. It must be. Oh, I love the look of his... Yeah. I love his look because he's like, I got it. I did it.
And then that dramatic reveal of Xalatath through the smoke, which I thought was
shout out to his super wrinkly eyes. I really like how wrinkly they made his face.
Yeah.
It's still weirdly smooth, but also wrinkly.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the first time that this model of Xalatath appears in the game, I believe. If you're working it out properly, because obviously we've seen her in marketing and stuff like that. Yeah, everywhere. But I think this is the first time in this cinematic, or maybe in the lead up to the cinematic, I guess, that we see her actual form and model and what she looks like now. And she looks like this now.
Of course she does.
No. Wasn't Khadgar supposed to be strong? Well, I think he is supposed to be strong, and I think it's more telling you how strong. Oh, sweat on his brow there. Look, it's more telling you how strong Xalatath is than how weak Khadgar may or may not be, right?
Exactly. Well, Xalatath with the aid of the Dark Heart, right? Like this presumably is what is.
Is the beam even hitting her? Do you think, or is it stopping before it gets to her? I don't know. Is it important?
It doesn't matter.
The fact is, she has so much power. It's not.
Exactly.
It's not hurting.
It doesn't
her,
even make a dent.
Yeah.
Doesn't even blow like a little hair off her face. She is.
It does not blow her hair off her face or stop her sucking off the power from Dalaran.
No.
And Khadgar looking boss before she appears through the smoke there, but it's just very cool.
Yeah.
And I think the Dark Heart definitely looks cooler when it's floating above her hand rather than floating above her head.
Yeah.
I'd like to give that as feedback. She looks very, very cool when it's floating above her hand. Slightly less so when it's floating above her head like a little goofy hat.
Yeah.
And there's like energy being sucked off into it as well.
Yep.
And you know, he's angry, but he's also surprised because she's about to do something. So
who knows what
here's
he's
the
gonna
question,
do?
right? Is there more cinematic after this one? Does it go to gameplay? Or, and this has happened before, does it go to another type of cinematic? Like, it wouldn't be the first time that we've had a in-game, like a pre-rendered cinematic go to an in-game cutscene or to a 2.5D or something like that. Because there's clearly there's more narrative that is about to happen here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And whether the event starts at this point or this is the end of the event, feels likely to me it's probably the end of the event.
Possibly.
You know?
Yeah.
She's sucked off all the energy. Now she's going to have her way with Khadgar. And, like, what do you think? Do you think there's more cinematic, or do you think this is the whole thing, or...
I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe this is it. I think there's going to be more cinematic.
Yeah?
Knowing what I know.
More of this type of cinematic? Or a different type?
I don't know, really. I haven't thought about it. Seeing how it's going to happen in a few hours. I haven't put that much thought into it.
Yeah. I think about it every second of the day.
I know you do. I know you do.
I wouldn't be surprised to see it go into a different type of cinematic.
Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised to see it go into a 2.5D.
You think so?
Yeah, but I also wouldn't be surprised to see it go into an in-game cutscene.
Right.
I also wouldn't be surprised if it was the same cinematic that we just haven't seen all of, and it just plays out.
Just continues, yeah.
Yeah. But an in-game cinematic might be quite nice because it would get our character involved.
Oh, yes,
you know,
please.
so our character would come running up the steps.
Rushes in,
yeah,
right?
with Jaina and stuff and be like, yo, what's going on?
That
and Callum would be like, get back or something. And you know, like that kind of thing. That kind of thing you could do with an in-game cutscene. And yeah, so I feel like it's probably pretty likely in that sense that might be how it plays out.
I'm with you. I could see it happening.
Yeah, but it's a good one. I really like it.
It is a good one.
Yeah, and I'm really looking forward to seeing this opening event happen tonight.
I can't wait. I can't wait to check it out.
I've got a feeling it's going to be a shit show and we won't really be able to see how it works at all.
Well, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see a little bit of it.
So that was really good to see. Very cool. Not completely unexpected, of course, in terms of, it's a really cool pre-rendered cinematic and it's in the game and here's a little teaser of it.
Yeah.
Something that I feel did surprise everyone, though, was...
Tally, this.
Now, is there music to this as well?
There's sound.
Is there sound?
This is a six second long clip that has set the WoW Twitterverse aflame.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, there it was. Hope you enjoyed it. Now, obviously...
for
those of you not watching the podcast now being recorded or on our YouTube channel, how can you describe what's going on the screen right here, Evie?
This is a super sick, like, fantasy animation in which some, like, amazing hot elves are like flying through the sky.
Is there any other sort?
Yeah, facing off. I see a little glimpse of Lorthamar there because he hasn't, as some people rightfully pointed out, he has not changed his armor in thousands of years. Oh my god. And facing off against, again, super sick kind of old school fantasy renditions orcs and trolls.
Yeah. Outside of Kel'Thalas.
Silvermoon in the background with this like beautiful, again, like Saturday morning cartoon ambiance.
Well, and that's the thing, right? Because what you described is like a scene from Warcraft, right? And there's nothing surprising about that. But what is surprising about it is the animation style.
Which I think immediately people were like, oh, it's like the Legend of Vox Machina, right? Which again,
Well, that's exactly what it is.
you know,
What I would describe as like the kind of like the established American anime style.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's like suggestive of Japanese anime, but it's kind of got its own thing going on. It's very much what the Critical Role cartoon looks like.
Super American cartoon,
Yeah,
fantasy cartoons.
Yeah, the kind of cartoons that came off the back of like you know how like American studios were just using Japanese animators in the early 80s, so Thundercats looks really Japanese and really cool, but still has that like American vibe to it. And like Ulysses has the same kind of look to it as well, so it's got that kind of that Americanized anime kind of like feel to it, which I think is really cool.
Cartoons.
And now the tweet that came with this said soon
TM.
Now I'm gonna go out on a limb, and I'm gonna say that doesn't mean tonight.
When do you think it means?
Well,
Kelly?
for
This is
start,
very
they're
important.
testing the Dalaran thing tonight, so I don't think they want to like distract from that,
Right?
Because they want everyone to go on there, and they want as many people in there as possible to do it. So I mean, that's as far as I'm going to go. It just means not tonight. So maybe tomorrow. Hopefully, from the point of view of our channel, because we're away this weekend, it means Monday. I would love that. Thank you.
Please,
Thanks
Liz,
very much.
please.
And here's the thing, right? Is this a cinematic? Or I think the thing that most people's brains said when this happened, when they saw this, the alarm bells that went off in most people's brain was, wow, Netflix show.
And so
Did you get the same?
Of course. WoW Netflix show. And again, you know, with kind of resurgence of adult cartoons like Legends of Vox Machina, things that have been super popular in this like style. Yeah, instantly that's where a lot of people's brains go.
Castlevania cartoons.
Castlevania, exactly. Yeah. So people are like, oh yeah, obviously this means a full Netflix show. I hate to say it, but I don't think that's what's going to happen. I could be wrong. I would love to like eat my hat or whatever the phrase is here.
I would also love to eat your hat.
Yeah. I would love to be wrong here. And I would probably, like many other people, just die if we received like a full, proper Netflix cartoon for WoW. I don't think that's what's going to happen.
I don't want to dwell on this because there's a chance that it does come out tonight, and you know, anything we speculate has already been like said either way. But I will just look at the scenes that we've got.
Yeah.
And you know, we've got the
what are we looking at?
Elves outside Silvermoon fighting trolls and orcs. You've obviously got this troll up here jumping, which is a recreation of that very, very famous Chris Metzen illustration of the troll, which I love. Great reference. Really enjoy that. So it looks like the Second War, basically. In that shot, we got an orc shouting, like in that really cool style.
Yeah.
Then we got catapults, which, like, for me looks like Teldrassil, right? This looks like the Sylvanas Warbringer.
It does look a little bit, doesn't
firing
it?
on Teldrassil, but it could be just a reference to that, and it could actually be different.
It
be
could
like
just be a big old battle.
Yeah, but bear that in mind. To me, it looks like Teldrassil.
Interesting that you think that. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I take it by that you don't think it does.
No.
Oh, you don't think that's Teldrassil?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Well, okay, cool. I hope you're right, to be honest.
Yeah.
And then we've got a shot of what looks like Alleria, and I mean, people think that's Sylvanas.
That's Varisa.
You reckon?
That's Varisa for sure, right?
I'd love to hear Chat's opinion on this.
Well,
they are like totally Thundercat style, like falling out of the air.
Oh my God.
The camera's down below, they're like landing on it, and Alleria is holding her bow as a weapon.
Fastera, right?
Which
That is
suggests she is out of arrows, and her sister is by the side of her with a sword and
wielding a sword.
is helping out, right?
They look so incredible.
Yeah, that's it. So here's my deduction.
Okay, tell me what you think about this, Charlie. Let's hear it.
I think this is the history of Alleria.
Okay.
I think this is telling the story of Alleria. I think this is not a series. I think this is a cinematic. I think this is, to all intents and purposes, functionally Alleria's Warbringer animation.
Nice.
They're just
Okay.
using a different animation style.
Fine.
It's super hype. It's very cool. It's very different. And I think this bit where you see Alleria, and I think it is Sylvanas dropping down. She's using her bow as a weapon, which suggests she's run out of arrows. This is her trial, her ranger trial, that was talked about in the Sylvanas novel. She goes off to do her ranger general trial, and she fails it. She gets helped by Sylvanas in that trial. And I think this is what this is depicting here.
Interesting. And as far as I understand, Sylvanas gives her bow, Thestera. Like that's the
right, yeah,
that is
yeah.
the which was their mom's
Yeah.
bow, and Sylvanas like gives it to her. Right. So yeah. Okay. So if this is happening in the Second War, so it would be Sylvanas and Alleria.
Yeah. Okay.
Aretha-
Apparently, they tweeted very soon this morning, so maybe it is happening. This evening.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So we'll stay up for that as well. Maybe I will have to stream. I'm probably have to keep streaming all evening, aren't I?
All day. All night.
Well, it is what it is. So yeah, my guess is then, and you can all laugh in the comments if this turns out to be wrong. My guess, this is basically a history of Alleria.
Yes.
And it's basically, it's her Warbringer, it's her 2.5D animation, and it is not 2.5D.
No, it's not.
But
It's just
like,
beauty.
yeah.
It's just no. It's this is cool. This is really good. And if it is, we would get the story of my brief understanding is this, that Alleria was reluctant. She's the eldest Windrunner sister. She was reluctant to become the Ranger General.
She didn't give no shit, mate.
She just didn't want to do it. Sylvanas obviously became the Ranger General. And meanwhile, they're fending off the forces of the orcs and the trolls on Kel'Thalas.
Yeah.
Lorthamar is there. Haldoran, Brightwing. Some people speculate that he's one of the other hot elves flying around.
Awesome.
So I'm completely down with this being the Alleria kind of history storytelling.
And that's obviously going to be very helpful from an Alleria in War Within point of view. But all roads lead to midnight at the moment as well. And obviously this is a setting which is going to be very, very important in Midnight. So I that's what I think. I think it's going to be the history of Alleria. I specifically think that this scene where they drop down is her and Sylvanas during her trial, which is described in the to become Ranger General, which she messes up and Sylvanas has to help her out from the Sylvanas novel. I will be very pleased myself if that's correct. But I can't wait to see it. And I mean, what do you think of the animation style? Do you think it suits for WoW?
I absolutely love it. I think people have been dying to have something like this, which is nostalgic. And like, it's really current and really nostalgic at the same time. And you know that, multiple years have probably gone into this, whatever this is, no matter how long it is, because this stuff gets planned years in advance and created years in advance. I really dig the style. I love super dynamic, cartoon, look at that, and the little gleam. I mean, this is the joy you feel if you've watched Legend of Vox Machina, just really beautiful, spell casting and fighting, and just
very dynamic.
It's super dynamic, and it's stuff. This is just so funny watching this as an adult. Not all kids' cartoons would have been at this level when you were a kid, but I feel like I didn't really appreciate the artistry.
Oh yeah, totally.
and seeing this now, I'm like, this is sick. This is so up my alley. I love this.
Awesome. Well, I can't wait. If that does come out tonight, I can't wait to see what it's all about.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. But whenever it comes out, I will be happy and I will be excited. And that's us kind of caught up on the news. I can't wait to talk about the Dalaran event and stuff. But actually, the next podcast that we do.
Oh, are we talking about this yet? Because we do actually have a little bit more news.
Oh, do we?
Yeah, we were going to talk about some Twitch drops.
Oh, I think we can actually do the other news first.
Okay,
I think it'll work better that way.
Let's do the other news first then.
So our next podcast after this is going to be a special one, isn't it, Evie?
It is. So it will be next week. It's not going to be on the usual Thursday. It's going to be
The usual Thursday. In fairness,
know,
it is always on a Thursday.
usually
When it
on a Thursday,
happens, it's
when
on
it
a
happens.
Thursday. But no, we're right back into it now. We've had our little break. This is
We
essentially
have.
season 2 of the podcast, right?
back in the saddle. And we will be having a live podcast recording next week on Saturday.
Saturday?
Not this coming Saturday. This will be Saturday.
A week Saturday, basically.
A week from Saturday.
That's a stupid time for a podcast, Effie. Why on earth would we do it then?
Because, or is it Friday? Hold on.
Wait, no, hang on. Please don't make it Friday.
No, it's definitely on Saturday. Sorry, there has been a little
Don't go onto Discord again. Don't open
well,
it.
there's been a little message that's gone out about it. Anyway, so long story short, we are doing a WoW podcast, obviously live from Gamescom.
Woo! Gamescom! Gamescom! That's in Cologne, in Germany. There's loads of good stuff to do in Cologne.
It is, including
The Nazi Museum.
that.
The official Nazi Museum is in Cologne. So if you love Nazis, I know some of you do, go and check that out. That would be awesome. You can go to the Kunst Museum. Which is and just like enjoy all the brilliant art around there and just have a really good time just knowing that the German word for art is Kunst.
Kunst.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
Also, you can go to Gamescom,
Gamescom,
and
we'll
you
be
can come and see
on.
us record the podcast.
I'm super excited. This is going to be our baby's first Gamescom. We've never been. So we are going to be there at Gamescom recording this podcast live from the Xbox community stage. Super
That
cool.
sounds incredibly official.
It
and
is
amazing.
extremely official. It is extremely official. So that is going to be on the Saturday, the 24th, at 12 p.m. Germany time.
If you're there, if you're able to come, you'll know what time it is.
Exactly.
fine.
That'll be 11 a.m. UK time, and I don't even.
So we're going to be
wanna think
broadcasting
about
live on our YouTube channel like this right now. So you can watch the podcast live like you are doing right now. People who are watching it. Obviously, we'll put it up on your preferred listening platform afterwards. You can listen to it if you're listening to it there now. You can listen to it there then too. And if you are in Gamescom, they can come along and watch it recorded live, right?
Yes, yeah. So you can come, you can sit down, you can have a little sit or a lie down on like a beanbag. God knows what's going to be
They've
there.
got tiered
Gamescom.
seating from what
They
I've
have
seen.
tiered seating.
Okay, tiered seating to watch our podcast. How amazing is that? That's better than the weekly race set live. That is.
Yeah, exactly. So so we are going to be there doing that live, and if you want to come and say hello, that would be really nice. If you want to watch us on stream, that
Oh
would
God,
be
please
incredible.
come. Please don't make us do it to no one.
Yes,
Oh
please
my
come.
God, please come. I'm literally begging you. Please come to the podcast.
So we will be there on Friday. We will be streaming as much as we can. So here are our plans basically for Gamescom. We get there on Thursday, ready for the 11 p.m. / midnight early access launch. We will have a stream set up. We will be live to ring in the new early access all together. We'll see how far we get. We'll see how stable the servers are. We'll see if any boats break along the way. But we will be there. Friday, expect us to be on stream from the afternoon kind of into the evening. Otherwise, we'll be milling around Gamescom. And then Saturday, 12 p.m. CEST, I think that's the time zone, Central European Standard Time. We will be doing this very podcast live, talking about the new expansion, talking about whatever will have been revealed.
Yeah, we'll have played it for hours by then, and it will have been out for hours and hours and hours by then. So
It will have been.
Yeah, seriously, it's gonna be great. We're gonna go there. We're not the only WoW creators that are gonna be at Gamescom by any means.
I'm sure there'll be plenty
Blizzard
others.
are taking loads of others. I don't know who's said that they will, so I won't mention any names. But we know there are tons, and we're going to go to a nice mixer on Thursday evening and see them all. Now, I actually genuinely 100% don't know if Bellilar's going to be there, but if Bellilar's at the mixer, he won't be streaming because he'll be shitted.
Okay, I
He'll
just...
be so drunk. That dude, well, he loves drinking and he loves partying, and I love that about him. But he also has the advantage that he gets drunk on like literally half a pint. So he's sorted.
It's true.
He's
It's
at
true.
a great time. I love hanging out with him at mixers. I really hope he's there.
Yeah, so the World of Warcraft Facebook account has recently dropped this. If you're at Gamescom, if you come to see us or any of the other stuff there is a 4D. Don't laugh, Tally. A
Like a dream I
4D
had already.
immersive skywriting ride. You literally get on this thing, put on a headset, and you fly through Dalaran. It is an experience called Escape from Dalaran.
Why would I need to escape from Dalaran?
I don't know, but they're
Hang
telling
on.
me that I'm being told we may need to escape from Dalaran.
Bliss! Bliss!
So,
Dude! Bliss, man! Okay, cool.
yes. Yeah, there's going to be other kind of like photo experiences and stuff. But yeah, I've just seen this pop up on my Discord on my phone, which I did not open on my
Wow.
PC, so I don't ruin that.
Thanks,
so
I really
that
appreciate
sounds
that.
like it's going to be super fun. But we will be there as well. I am mega excited for that. I'm mega excited for the podcast. There's going to be a lot to talk about.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, I can't wait. It's going to be great. So we will be, we're going to the Mixer, and then we are being driven to we're making our way to an off-site streaming venue.
Yeah, we're Ubering over there.
To stream the launch, the early access launch, because that's midnight German time, and we're allowed to stay there till like 3 a.m. So we'll be making our way back to our hotel at 3 a.m. And then when we get up, we'll be streaming from Gamescom itself, from the convention floor, from the I guess
The WoW booths.
The WoW booths.
There are WoW booths that we'll
be
streaming
doing a
from.
whole day of streaming. Then we'll be breaking off for an hour or so for reasons, and then Saturday we'll probably be wandering around. We'll be hanging around the WoW booth, and then we'll be doing our podcast. So yeah, please come to that. No tickets necessary or anything like that. Just turn up. I'm sure you'll be the only ones there. You can sit down. You can watch it. We're going to keep it just to an hour because that's what all our time slot is for the actual broadcast, and then we can say hello and hang out afterwards if you so desire. I think that would be brilliant.
I think it'd be really fun. We'd love to say hello to anyone there who wants to say hi, and yeah, just geek out together over all the good stuff we're going to be
I think it'll be really, really good, and the idea of doing a podcast from there is going to be
Yeah.
really fun. We'll be have microphones and we'll be talking at a desk, and there will be amplifications, so it's going to be noisy on that floor, but you should be able to hear us fine, and it should be an interesting podcasting experience. Apologies in
should be.
advance if the broadcast isn't quite up to our usual incredibly professional standards.
Extremely.
Any plans for the Sunday? Yes, hotel breakfast and then fucking off home.
Yeah, and getting back home, hopefully in time for Sunday lunch.
Because that's basically what we live for. Literally every week we're just like,
Yeah.
at any point in the week we can just be like, I can't wait for Sunday lunch at Granny's.
Yeah,
It's gonna be fucking awesome.
yeah. I can't wait. It's gonna be so fun. It's
Yeah.
gonna be so good.
So if you are American, yes, we will be streaming on Thursday, your time, because we'll be streaming from the early access launch. So that is Thursday in American time. It is midnight, like Thursday, so Friday or EU time, and it's like 11 p.m. on the Thursday British time, I believe,
Yes.
is when the game goes live. So we'll be streaming from a little tiny bit before that and then into that. So
Can't
should
wait.
be awesome. And I love Germany, and I haven't been to
Same.
Germany for ages. I can't wait to test out some of my German that I learned in school. I got German A level. Did you know that?
You did wow. Yeah, that's just cool. I'm really excited.
Ich habe ein Ei gegessen.
Yes, fair. I'm super excited. What's really fun about Gamescom is that getting a Gamescom ticket also gives you public transportation access.
Awesome, man. Oh yeah, and so to clarify, the streaming of the game will be on our Twitch channel.
Yes.
And the streaming of the podcast will be on this channel, the YouTube channel.
On the YouTube channel.
Thanks
We
for asking.
will,
Thanks for
yeah,
clarifying.
we'll put this all out there in the ether so everyone can follow. But yes, that is the plan.
And then we'll be back here in this office to stream the actual launch of the game.
Yes.
The late access launch of the game
Oh,
on
no.
what, Tuesday is it, or
Monday, yeah,
is it?
Monday, midnight.
Whatevs, mate. All good. Can't wait. And during that, when the game launches proper, there will be Twitch drops.
Yes, so Twitch drops incoming.
And there's a story about this as well. It's not just us like shilling the Twitch
Yeah,
drops.
let's pivot to this for a little bit then. Starting August 26th, that's the, oh my God, I can't believe we call it late access. The actual, that is
Scrub
the proper.
access? Is that better?
It is the proper expansion launch, August 26th, 3 p.m. Pacific time, 11 p.m. UK, I think, midnight, and German time.
Listen to any of that. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it's fine.
I'm sure it was actually.
You know
I
what?
totally
It's not for
phased
you.
out. I was like,
It's not for you, babe. Don't worry. So that the Twitch drops start as soon as that drops. Thank you, Blizz, for making that happen. With
Oh
the
God!
proper drop and not early access.
From my mortgage advisor, thank you so
Yes.
much for Twitch drops. My God, we needed some of that something, and you delivered. Thank you so much.
If you guys haven't done those before on Twitch, so there are two separate things happening basically. There's support a streamer, which is where you, if you watch a WoW stream and if you buy or gift 2 subs on that stream, you receive a Watcher of the Huntress pet. Lovely little glowing owl guy. Nice, lovely. On the other hand, there are just proper drops. So for those are the Support a Streamer run runs for a month. That's until September 26th. Twitch drops are a little bit shorter. They run only until September 19th. For that, you have to watch 4 hours of any WoW stream. And for doing that, you are rewarded with what, Tally?
The Ghastly Charger mount.
Oh, I feel like I've seen this one
It
before.
looks kind of old.
Looks
kind of low res.
yeah.
Is
I
it an
don't know.
old mount?
You know, I think. Oh, right. This is the one that you could get from the defunct trading card game, but which has been kind of peddled around for large sums of money for some time now. So
As many of the rare mounts in the trading card game.
exactly. Look, it's no spectral tiger, but
It's no cock.
no, it's not.
It's no cock mount. That's the one I want, by the way. That's what I dream
Chicken.
of. I dream of the cock from the TCG
Yes.
mount collection. I want the cock. I want the cock mount. Give me the cock. All
I
I'm
will make a
saying is,
note.
if anyone wants to get me something good for my birthday, get me the cock from the TCG. Like, how is that? There's
Yeah.
nothing cryptic about that. Well, just get me the fucking cock.
On that note, so this one, you now have access to this mount.
It's
My
just really cool. It's
understanding-
like a big rooster. Like,
The spectral charger, the ghastly charger, they're calling it rather. So you will get that for watching 4 hours of a WoW stream.
I bet that's not controversial at all, is it, Evitel?
Not at all.
There has been, as there always is with the TCG mounts, there's been much debate on this because, you can go onto eBay right now and you can find the Ghastly Charger mount TCG card. So for those of you who don't know, the trading card game came out in kind of like, the flush of WoW popularity in the mid 2000s, and along with like the RPG, the tabletop RPG and stuff like that. That just don't exist anymore. Like, the lore isn't canon from the RPG anymore, and the way the trading card game worked, like, oh my God, if you think the trading post is predatory, mine got. They would have, cards in the trading card game that not only served a purpose in the trading card game, but also had like a little scratch off bit where you'd scratch it off and get a code, and it would give you a mount
Or
in
a
the
pet,
game, or a
right?
pet in the game. And some of these, like the Ghastly Charger, like the cock, like the Spectral Tiger, what other ones have we had that have actually been in game? There's been a few at this point, and but these traditionally get very, very high prices on eBay. You can go to eBay right now, you can find a Spectral Tiger for sale for $8,000 dues. That is 56,000 Australian dollars. That's
1 million
insane. That's
Australian
$1 billion
dollars.
Australian dollars. And it's absolutely crazy. And I think the average price at the moment before today, the average price for the Ghastly Charger card on eBay was like something like $1,300 or something like that.
Yeah.
So there's a rabid economy for this kind of thing. And there is criticism of the idea that, I guess you're ruining people's investments in the cards, right?
Well,
If you did pay $1,300 for this a couple of days ago, and then this announcement happens, you're not going to be feeling great, are you?
No, of course. And, I do feel for people who went out and bought it recently and are now faced with it. So I can understand why people might not be feeling this one, particularly if you are like a collector, particularly on if you kind of frame your whole WoW experience around like exclusive items. So, but at the same time, like also that is totally your decision to spend your money and to pay, you know, but I still feel for them. Like, I feel like no one really wins in this situation. Well, some people do.
Yeah, and you know, like it's hard, isn't it? Because I mean, I remember a couple of years ago when the first trading card mount got put in the game, and I believe it was a Twitch drop. It's probably for Dragonflight. I forget which one it was. And you know, I remember saying on the weekly reset then, it's like, if nothing else, however you feel about this, whether you think it's a good thing or a bad thing, the one thing you absolutely must take from it is do not buy any more TCG mounts.
Just absolutely don't.
Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Do not spend $1,000 on a TCG mount, because chances are it might not be this year, it might not be next year, but it's gonna get put in the game. Like that is established now. You know, we've had a couple of drops of them. Just don't buy them, because whether you think it's good to buy them or not,
don't do it.
You will. They're gonna be in the game, and they'll be for free, and they'll be from a Twitch drop, and you know, so at this stage, I don't have sympathy for the speculators, really, because I feel like at this stage you've had like 2 years warning, you know, and like it was obviously going to happen. It will happen with the Spectral Tiger as well.
You think so?
Yeah, I'm certain. There's, you know, it will be for something really, really big, but the Cock Mount and the Spectral Tiger, they're both getting in there, and it will happen. And so just don't spend $8,000 on the Spectral Tiger. Just wait a year. Or you know what? If $8,000 is nothing to you and you don't want to wait a year or whatever it's going to be, yeah, fine, spend. It's your money. Who cares? But
yeah, on
don't
the flip
complain
side,
about it then.
if you're on the flip side, sell now.
Yeah.
Right? If you,
On the flip side, best of luck, person still selling the ghastly charger on eBay right now.
Yeah, although, you know, if it comes with the card itself, right? Like that itself is like kind of a collector's item. Like,
oh, hey man, yeah. If you just want it for the card, go for it.
You know,
like,
that, you know, there's kind of a physical item attached to it as well. So that is happening. So yeah, make sure to tune in, and you will receive those goodies.
Yeah, and the buying 2 gifted subs for the pet one, is great for streamers. It's such a big support for them.
It really is, and for loads of streamers.
Yeah, it really helps. So we'll be streaming. Just saying.
Just saying.
And you can come and watch and get your horse. So yay.
Hurrah.
Happy times. But yeah, you know what? I have in the past, distant past, when we first started dating and stuff, because you were a big mount collector and a big pet collector when we first met. Yeah, exactly. And I've considered buying you the Cock Mount or the Tiger or just a rare pet or something from
Maybe we have
TCG
that one at
cards. Home. Yeah. The Cock Mount at home. But like. It was awkward when your mom said we had the Cock Mount at home, though, wasn't it? But you know, I've considered buying you like rare pets and mounts and stuff for fun. Like, it makes a nice present, right? It's like here's a card with a cool mount on it and stuff like that. So I absolutely get it, and I do get why you'd feel bad about it as well. But I feel like at this stage, it just can't be a surprise anymore. It can't be no one should be having the rug pulled out from their feet on this one. Like WoW have been doing this for a couple of years now. It clearly is going to be the way it's going. I think 20th anniversary would be a very good bet for the Spectral Tiger Twitch drop.
Could be.
For sure.
Could be.
I don't have any inside information on that. It's a pure guess based purely on speculation and guessing. So it is what it is, right? But there we go. That was the TCG drama.
Yeah.
We got some drama in the podcast, Evie.
Phew.
Yeah.
You just really have
now we'll get 1 million views.
Speaking of cool stuff, can I give a Plushy update?
Oh, yes, please.
So for those of you who don't know, we ran a successful petition to get the red bot spoiler bot turned into a plushie with makeshift. We had a huge, amazing turnout for that. Thank you to everyone who has supported it so far. Incredible. That means we are now in the prototyping stage.
Yes, it is going to get made. It had to hit like a certain amount of sales to get made. We did it. We got there.
We did.
It is getting made. We've already seen one prototype, but it did not get past quality control. The quality was excellent.
It is
we had
cool.
things about the design.
Exactly. So we are tweaking the design. I had feedback. I sent it back to them, and we're going to wait for the next round, which hopefully will be. And then once that's ready, we get sent a little prototype. We get to show you guys.
Yeah.
We get to show you what it looks like.
We
And
smashed the target, to be honest.
Yeah,
Like, absolutely. Yeah. And if you didn't get in on this, and if you didn't get your order in, then once the prototype is ready, it's ready for sale. You can just buy it like a normal plushie,
exactly.
like from the store, right?
So the campaign will be going live probably later in like September, maybe October. We'll get confirmation of those dates at some point. So it'll be open for 3 weeks, and you will be able to actually just place an order and buy it. Woo! So then you'll have your official Redbot spoiler bot, which you can just like pop up on screen. You can have them sitting on your desk.
Yeah.
You know, you can be like, no spoilers in my zone.
Yeah,
I've
take
got
it
the
to the
Redbot
pub, so
spoiler
when
bot
people
here.
start talking about movies
exactly,
and
be
shit,
like,
you're just like,
excuse
yo.
me. Just whip them out of your bag and be like, not here, bitch. So can't wait to do that. Yeah, and if you've ever seen makeshift plushies, they're really nice. They are very serious about making adorable, high-quality plushies. So we are really excited about that.
I want to have a look at the super chats before we go.
Let's do it.
Gosh. Yeah, sorry.
Go to fan funding, darling.
Okay, yes.
There you go. It's
I
just
did
like
it, Evie.
Khadgar.
I made the computer work.
He did it.
From Rico to open the show. Hey, Zali. Hey, Evie. Hooray. Cheers and love. This is your friendly Super Chats reminder. Thank you. Thank you for the Super Chats reminder at the top of the show.
you.
It did, in fact, remind me to do it. Thank you. By the way, nice rebranding. Yeah, I went onto Twitter yesterday and I realized that our handle on Twitter is now Zaliesin and Evitel, which was hilarious. But it will be Zalitel next podcast.
Oh, Evitath?
That sounds a bit like epitaph.
That's fine.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sure.
She's
Were
all
they
about happy
Offspring on
endings.
Epitaph when they first released their first couple of albums? I'm not sure.
Not
Anyway,
my genre, babe.
Whatevs. Yeah. This one's from Revan. Oh, Revan! Great friend of ours.
good to
on
see
stream.
you.
Hey guys, want to ask you here: have you put your Griffin statue, and will you ever do WoW reviews?
Book reviews.
WoW book reviews. You can see the Griffin statue
Right there.
right at the back of the room there, behind Evie right now, that we got from our collector's edition, which we currently have 4 of in the house.
We do. Oh, that reminds me, actually. I can't say anything, but we do have a...
Bit shit for a podcast, really.
I can't go into detail yet, but we do have something... God, there's so much stuff going on.
We've got a great giveaway that we're going to be doing.
We have a really, really good giveaway, and that'll be happening, I think, on launch day. So keep your eyes peeled, because there's some good shit.
The reason we've got a great
horizon.
giveaway is because someone contacted us with a very bad deal, and Evie went, that sucks. We're going to do it like this. And they replied, and they were like, yeah, okay, yeah, sure, you can give it away.
No, so we
so
you
Evie,
exaggerate,
thank
Sally.
Evie. She went all Zalatath on them.
We
girl bossed it.
We do have
and
something cool
It's very cool. You're gonna like
to
it.
give
folks.
to you. Anyway, that all will be revealed. But thank you, Revan. So there's the Griffin statue. And will we ever do WoW book reviews? I did a book review of Shadows Rising.
You did, didn't you?
Yeah, which I really enjoyed, actually. Really loved doing that one.
I did like a roundup of the Sylvanas novel on stream, which lasted about 6 hours.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Chronicle finally arrived.
Yeah, I don't want to review that
Chronicle
one.
4. Oh, I don't want to either.
I don't want to review it. I'll just look through the pictures and be like, this is nice.
We'll do your art review of the pictures.
I will do an art
This
review of
picture
the
is
pictures.
good.
There we go.
This picture is also good.
So, yeah,
That's
very
my
good.
level of art review. I sell cabbages. Hello, guys. Good to see you
you.
both again. Any idea how to best avoid spoilers for the people choosing not to pay money to play the new expansion early? Yes, just unplug your internet. There's basically no way you're going to be able to do it. I'm really sorry.
It's a bit unfortunate.
Yeah, the spoilers are... I mean, they're like integral to talking about the game, alas. And it's just another reason. There's so many reasons why the early access sucks. No one likes it. That's the thing about the early access, right? Literally no one likes it. The devs don't like it. The players don't like it. Like, it makes the game worse. It splits the community. It makes like the enjoyment of everyone worse, whether they're like early access or not. The only thing it does is makes more money for shareholders. That's literally it. That's the whole reason it exists. It does not improve the game in any way. It doesn't improve anyone's enjoyment of the game. It is there purely to make money and fuck it. And yes, one of the bad things about it is that it's going to be impossible for you to avoid spoilers if you are on like WoW, Twitter or YouTube or anything. Like YouTube's gonna be the worst, obviously, because you have thumbnails up the wazoo,
non-stop. Like
every cinematic's gonna get ruined for you. Wowhead's gonna show you everything. Twitter's gonna show you everything. You just can't, basically.
So I would just switch off. Go outside, enjoy your weekend, doing something else, and then come back on Monday evening ready to go.
I'm really sorry. That's not great advice. I know.
Sorry, it's not ideal.
But, it's all you can do. I'm really, really sorry. Wraith Mace.
Nice.
Read this one?
Yeah. Played Dragon Boy X-Pack. And it was the most boring ever.
Oh.
And you have been playing for 20 plus years. Think the War Within will be better? Also just had brain surgery Tuesday, so forgive my spelling. Thoughts?
Congratulations.
Oh,
bionic stuff, surely.
Yeah, wishing you a speedy recovery, Wraith Mace.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hope you are feeling good.
Wraith Mace.
Yeah.
If you didn't enjoy Dragonflight, will you enjoy War Within? I guess it's like, what didn't you enjoy about Dragonflight would be the question. Like, because the general gameplay philosophy is very much a progression from Dragonflight with, Dragonflight as its base. So it is very much a Dragonflight style expansion in terms of gameplay, a focus on very narrow power progression structures, but also within that, you do have a lot of choice with the Great Vault and stuff. Like, you can gear entirely from Raid, you can gear entirely from Mythic Plus, you can gear in PvP is a bit different now. You can gear entirely from like world events and delves and stuff to a certain level too. And then, the world events and the kind of world gameplay very much more geared towards cosmetic rewards, of which there are many, and like constant variety in those. I love that as a gameplay style. I think it's the best philosophy that WoW gameplay has ever had. And with the extra warbands stuff in there, I think it's now, a very modern feeling game. With Dragon Skyriding as well. And it feels fresh. It feels good. I love WoW to play at the moment. So if you don't mind that style of gameplay, and it was maybe the vibe of Dragonflight that you didn't like and didn't connect with, friends and family.
The power of friendship.
Yeah, all that stuff. And it was a very chill expansion. War Within is not that. War Within is a lot edgier, it's a lot darker, it's a lot more dangerous feeling.
That's the impression we get. The stakes feel higher. I know.
It's the impression I got from the beta.
We love to talk about stakes, right? And it does feel different. The vibe feels different for sure. So on that point alone, might be worth giving it a try.
Yeah. Like it definitely feels like the stakes are higher. It feels more dangerous. It feels like I trust that the story is taking me somewhere a lot more than I have done previously. Part of that is to do with the World Soul Saga and know that they're not going to have to abandon anything if they don't want to, sort of thing. So yeah, I hope that helps. I hope that is good information for you.
Yeah.
HS Ariel, another friend of the channel, thank you. The build-up we've had since BFA has been amazing. It feels like Xal'atath is genuinely going to be the best villain we've had since Garrosh in MoP. Well, she is, after Garrosh, she is the baddie that has had the most build-up than any in World of Warcraft,
I mean, it is incredible how it was her face from the beginning.
Yeah.
Talking about the War Within, like just plastered over everything. Even when we went and got to do kind of like early play testing and stuff, it was her. She was there, and they clearly want to foreground her as the baddie. And I appreciate this strategy.
I think that's brilliant. Like, even this opening cinematic with Khadgar, if you'd seen nothing else of Xal'atath before now, and that was your reveal of her, she's already better than the Jailer.
I know. It's
like by miles as well. But yeah, I know that not everyone has had the same build up as I have, because I play Shadow Priest and I've always been obsessed with Xal'atath. And I always thought she was a great character. And then when she reappeared in BFA and she was clearly going to be coming back in the story after that, it's just been great build up, and they can do so much with her, and they can give us so much information on her backstory and stuff, and they can do anything they want with her. And I think I think she's great. I'm a huge fan of her, and not just for the obvious simpy reasons. I think like she's just a genuinely good like antagonist at this point, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
Mike Damron, how do you feel about WoW Twitter tweeting out a new Dalaran story on beta? Really odd to promote it that way. Yeah, well, I like the bit of cinematic that they tweeted out. I think that's good. I think that's hype building, you know. And I think yesterday was an insane day for hype. It's like Blizz was sitting there, and I think Flex said that on Twitter, it's like the team was sitting there and just took it personal when people said there wasn't much hype for the War Within and decided to do something about it. And so I think it's great, and I think a cinematic like that builds up hype. The testing, the Dalaran event, they obviously feel like they need to.
I wonder what that's about.
It feels like this is pure conjecture, and I don't know anything about programming or game dev, obviously. Otherwise, I'd be doing that. But it feels like maybe they had problems with it behind the scenes, and they feel like they need to test it publicly.
Maybe.
Because the impression that I got from interviews was that they weren't going to be doing
that. Was the impression from early on when we were doing kind of the interviews
I
and the
feel like,
reveal.
I might be wrong, happily to be wrong, but it feels like they were planning on not testing it, and now they feel like they do have to test it. And if it makes a smooth, the great thing about the testing is no one has to do it if they don't want to. I don't think there's any spoilers that are going to get revealed in the testing that aren't already out there. So if you've avoided it until this point, you probably will be okay.
Yeah.
And if it means a smoother launch day experience, then, I mean, that's good, right?
Probably worth it. And I feel like that little clip that they've shared on Twitter, it's, you've probably seen of or heard of Xal'atath by now, so I'm assuming it's not going to.
Oh yeah, if you've done the Dark Heart quest in PTR, you know who Xal'atath is.
You know who she is. So, but yeah, kind of interesting to see them tweeting about like, hey, here's some beta testing. Again, I appreciate that they're being like open and transparent and being like, hey, you too can try this out early. Yeah. So yeah, I sell cabbages. Thank you so much. Do you think? Oh, that was your 10th super chat. Thank you, I sell cabbages.
That's awesome.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Do you think Blizz could have done more with Zal? As someone who did not play Priest in Legion or do the N'Zoth quest in BFA, I had no clue who Xal'atath was, and she kind of came out of nowhere for me. Interesting.
I feel like they've pushed her enough in the marketing for that not to be an issue at this point.
Yeah,
I feel
she is the face. Yeah, she really is totally. The face.
And imagine that you hadn't played any other Warcraft game before WoW. Mm-hmm. What build-up did Illidan have? Like none. What build-up did Arthas have? None. Outside of in WoW, none. He just came out of nowhere. Likewise, pretty much anybody apart from Garrosh. So I mean, I think it is fun to kind of, because it is all still there in the game. That's the thing. If you want to, you can go and do the Shadow Priest artifact in Legion in Chromie time, or just in past quests, and you can do it. You can get Xal'atath still. You can see the artifact acquisition. You can go and do the Xal'atath quests in BFA. It'll take you 5 minutes. You don't have to do any quest before. Just go to a Kultiris with a character that hasn't done it. Do a Naga invasion. You'll kill like 3 mobs in the Naga invasion. The medallion will drop that starts the quest line, and you can go and do that quest line, and you can do it. And then we saw her in Dawn of the Infinites as well. So if you want to, you can go and do that all really quick, and you can see everything that everyone's seen of Xal'atath in game up to this point without that much effort at all, honestly. And it says a lot that her appearances in the game have been very sparse, but the impact that she's left has been huge, particularly amongst Shadow Priest players, obviously. But then, she was quite prominent in BFA as well. And I think, the way that they've put her into all the marketing and put it front and center, and she is very much the antagonistic face of the World Soul Saga at this point. I think that's enough. I think that and as long as they do good stuff with her in the game, which they forgot to do with the Jailer, then I think that's justification enough, to be honest.
Yeah,
that's cool.
I'm with you.
The extra small theory for the rendered cinematic, though. Khadgar's beam just got absorbed by the Dark Heart. My source, I made it up. That's good enough for me.
I agree with you. I think the Dark Heart, I like what you said before, Tally, about the Dark Heart really just sucking up every
sucking
type.
off the energy.
Sucking off the energy, but any type, and kind of aggregating all these different kinds of energies and magic. And Khadgar's magic is potent. It is powerful. So
Oh no, she's got all that potent dad energy. Now she's our mom and dad.
it's like a dream I had.
Anton Brumberg, thank you for the super chat. That's very kind of you. You are both awesome. Lots of love.
Aw, thanks, Anton. That's super sweet.
And Rico, since downstairs rebuilding shenanigans was over, we're getting our kitchen done, just so you know. That's not a sex thing.
No.
What are you guys up to? What shenanigans are now following? We actually want to get a front door. We want to get a new front door, but
Yeah.
that's it then. No more
That's it.
building.
No more
We
shenanigans
just want
until
a big chunky front
we are
door.
forced to have shenanigans.
Like and maybe like the kind of like the inside like hallway bit that you go into.
yeah, we have some painting to do. We have like little bits and bobs
But
around
our
the
kitchen
house.
is
Thankfully,
lovely. We still got like pictures to put up and stuff like that, but we love it. Thank
Yeah.
you, and thank you for bearing with us while
Yeah.
our output was a little bit less while that was happening.
Yeah.
So glad it's over.
definitely put a strain on the on everything.
Yeah,
really.
literally everything. E Fisher getting the healer tank range DPS tier vids. I'm really hoping to get a DPS one out by the time the game launches.
Yeah, that would be the dream.
No promises, but that's my dream. It's unfortunate because there will be no weekly reset this weekend.
I know.
On our YouTube channel because we've been flat out for the last couple of weeks. I feel like I haven't seen enough of my kids, especially with the wedding in Denmark, which we didn't take the kids to last weekend. So I just really, really feel like I needed some time away with my kids. Just us, you know. So me and Evie, we're essentially taking the kids camping over the weekend.
Yeah, we're going to like a little cabin just out in like the middle of nowhere in Wales.
And yeah, we're gonna have a nice time, see some
Yeah.
animals and
I'm
some
excited.
dinosaurs, and
Heck
it's gonna
yeah.
be awesome.
Yeah.
So that's
So no weekly reset, unfortunately.
No weekly reset because of that, which we've been on the weekly reset recently as well. It's been
Yeah.
great to be back
So
doing
good.
that so much. And we'll keep that going. And then when the kids are back in school, my goodness, our output can go through the roof, right? Can't
Exactly.
wait. Fellmaster, can't wait for the Elf cinematic. Anyone else hope to see Zul'jin in there?
Ooh.
Also, anyone else get vibes of the Wrath cinematic from Diablo 3? That one was awesome. This one looks fantastic too. Yeah, I absolutely get those vibes for sure. Yeah, totally. And I'm really interested to see what format this takes. It feels like it can't just be an individual cinematic. Maybe it'll be like a mini series telling Alleria's kind of story or whatever.
It must be.
It feels like,
must
yeah.
be.
The team are really excited about it. Terran was tweeting excitedly about it yesterday.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's got to be more than just one. But who knows? I can't wait. I think we'll find out quite soon. I'm off to copy my character onto the test realm so I can
Nice.
test this Dalaran thing when
Get
it
ready
goes
for that,
in.
babe.
Yeah, I think I can stream it, so I guess I'll be on streaming it later on. And
Sounds good.
I might be on even earlier if that cinematic doesn't drop before it, so we can talk about that as well.
Wow, we are spoiled.
I know.
isn't
Thank
it?
you so much for joining us today.
Thank you,
Back
guys.
for the podcast.
Yeah, a
don't
delight.
forget, you can watch us record this podcast every Thursday at times.
Many
Just
Thursdays.
check the YouTube channel. We always record it live, streaming on YouTube, and that's where the VOD is as well. So you can come watch it any old time you like in our podcast section on our YouTube channel. And of course, if you just do it with the ears, you can listen to it on your chosen streaming platform.
Yes.
Usually a couple of hours, sometimes a couple of days if I forget when we upload it. So I've got a bit of editing to do on this one, so it might be a day.
Yeah, yeah.
But thank you so much for watching. It's been so good to be doing this again. It's been so good to have you back.
Yeah, thank you guys. What a joy to be here. And don't forget to catch us for the next one live from Gamescom.
We'll see you at Gamescom.
Ooh, I do actually hope to see you there.
Yeah, definitely. It would be a bit
Me
embarrassing
too.
to do it to an empty like bank of seats. But you know, we've done worse. From me, Taliesin.
And me, Evitel.
Until next time, cheerio.
Bye.